Okay, so I'm going through my morning routine, and I always get great epiphanies during this process. And so if you want to tap into your creative thinking brain, your conscious brain, you definitely have to go through a morning routine or a routine at some point. I suggest a morning where you listen, read, contemplate, pray, think. I just get so many great ideas in this process, and I just heard um, someone, I forget this guy I'm listening to, but he talked about how when we're young, our brains aren't developed enough to really understand the ramifications of what happens to us. Case in point, if you are injured by a loved one, if you have go through some type of childhood trauma when you're young, your brain isn't developed enough to understand why, right? Now, as adults, when things happen to us, we can say, oh, well, maybe that person had some problems, or maybe that person was going through something. You know, as adults, we have the ability to discern our own worth out of that experience. But when you're a child and you get injured by somebody you love, or there's some kind of trauma that happens to you, your brain isn't developed enough for you to understand it. So a lot of times it gets manifest into some type of self-destructive belief system, like I'm a bad kid, or something's wrong with me, or I'm not good enough, right? And so those traumas happen in our youth because, or rather they linger into our adulthood, because as children, we don't have the ability to say, hey, this wasn't my fault. This was that person's fault. And so we go through life, we develop through adolescence, and we forget the injury, but we don't forget the internalization and the interpretation that we gave the injury. So we take the trauma with us into adulthood. I just thought that was such a powerful statement. I got to get you this guy that I'm listening to, his information, so I could give him credit, because that was just very powerful to me. And so I just wanted to share that. I wanted to say, this process, every morning I get something good out of this process. Every morning. So I hope you're going through your morning routine and you have a process where you can sit down and think and meditate and consume some content and get your intention right, get your mindset right, so you can go into the world and deal with the world, because 2021 is here. We get to choose how we're going to move through whatever circumstances are in front of us with 2021. We get to make it what we want to make it. All right.